Hello and welcome to the Comedy and Custody podcast. I am Nebulous Nia,
And I am Sasha Frank.
and it's comedy because we're both stand-up comedians.
And it's custody because we are both single mums. Hello.
Hi,
Hi, we're back.
we are.
Okay, so we always think about what we're going to talk about in advance on the podcast. And I had a funny story for you. Not really a funny story, just a story. So I was watching TV last night with Grace. So my daughter, she's 12. We were watching Young Sheldon, and highly recommended, by the way. And there was an episode on about how kids are uncomfortable talking to their parents about sex, the birds and the bees and things like that. And fittingly, while watching the episode, my child got up and walked away because she was just like, nope, absolutely not. And she just walked off, she went upstairs, and we were done. And because there was a moment while we were watching it that I was like, is this where I say, pause the TV and go, is there anything you'd like to ask mummy, my love? To which she would absolutely have packed a bag and moved out. So I didn't ask her.
As they do.
But do you talk? We don't want to talk too much about the kids because we love them and respect them.
We do.
We really do.
We do.
And we want them to respect us eventually.
Mhm.
So, but do you
Eventually.
talk to your kids about this stuff? Did you talk to your parents about it?
Well, I think I was very atypical because looking back, like my parents talked about sex a lot,
Interesting.
and they never stopped me from watching like sex scenes
Okay.
or anything like that. Also, no guidance.
Okay.
And I think they just trusted that I would figure things out, which was
Okay.
completely wrong.
Okay, so and I love that because I think I was allowed to watch a lot in the sense that no one was necessarily censoring what I watched, but I don't know that it was done with a mission of open-mindedness and liberalness. I think it was just no one was checking what I was watching on TV.
You were just neglected.
Yeah, I was just neglected. Yeah, it was just no one gave a shit. no, but I don't think there was any like agenda behind it. Whereas I'm like, with what Grace watches, I'm quite weird about it. I'm like, oh, what's the content? I don't really want her to see anything with that kind of content in it, which obviously that has to move on, right? Eventually there has to come a point where you don't shelter your kids from stuff.
Right.
And I'm thinking that's going to be for her around 32, 33 when I start to let her watch.
But have you told her the password? Is that when you tell her the password to the Netflix?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 32 on her 33rd birthday, she gets the password, and then she can watch the grown-up shows.
And is it just sex you're concerned about, or also like violence and
violence? No,
right?
Violence doesn't bother me.
It's like,
she wants to go out and be violent
and like behead people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she is beheading people.
Yeah.
Not that I've seen, but I'm very busy. Who knows what she's up to when I'm busy recording the podcast. No, I'm not worried about violence. That never bothers me. And I'm kind of somewhat okay with swear words. Although I don't swear in front of her, and I don't swear in front of my parents. Not at all.
At all.
At all. There have been moments where sometimes I go, Grace, I'm so cross right now, I could say a swear word.
Whoa, that's control.
Scary. Yeah. Do you swear in front of the kids?
Sometimes I can't help it.
It's much more normal. My way is not the right way, incidentally.
No, I think I see where you're coming from. It just requires supreme amounts of like self-control, which obviously you are using on that instead of other things.
Well, I've only got one child and you've got two.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. You're outnumbered and I'm not.
Yeah.
And yes, but I don't swear in front of my family either, which is weird because they all swear in front of each other. I've just assigned myself this very sweet innocent role in the family where
that's
I am.
interesting.
I don't know why.
Why? Like who said you were the angel, Sasha?
I don't know. It's just who I am. Like they will talk really open, not really openly, but they're pretty open about most things. They will swear in front of each other, and I'm like really uptight, and I'm just like the virginal little angel.
You're like the British one in the whole British family.
I'm the most British there is.
Out of all the British, you win.
The most stiff upper lipped. And maybe because I'm the oldest, I don't know.
But nobody told you to.
No, nobody told me I wasn't allowed to talk about this stuff.
This is obviously what I have to do.
Exactly. Like to the extent where like I don't really like my mum to come to see my shows. The only time she will have ever seen me swear is when I'm doing a show, or heard me talk about sex is when I'm doing a show, and it kills me inside. And like to the extent where she's not actually allowed to listen to all episodes of the podcast.
And she listens?
I don't know if she does, but
I mean her, to you.
Yeah, I don't know. She tells me she does. But like when we talk about like stuff on here, like I do say to you, I don't want to talk about that. Like my mum's gonna hear it or my grandma's gonna hear it. So I like to live in this world where she thinks that I am, as I say, this angelic human being.
That's nice.
But
What if one day Grace is like saying that about you?
Which part?
Like that she's like pretending to be this angelic being for her mom.
Well, I don't want that. I want her to
Right.
be normal. And I think my mum wants me to be normal. I think because I said to her once, like, oh, don't watch this clip of me online. And she's like, Sasha, I know you know swear words. Like, I was like 38. She was like, I know that you know all the swear words. It's really fine. She's like, I do know what grown-ups do. It's completely fine. But I'm like, no, you couldn't possibly. I think I'd like to think that she thinks my child was conceived by a like immaculate conception. I don't know.
That's so funny because like I feel like growing up in Asia, the stereotype is like the Asians are conservative and like the Westerners are so like wanton and like they're naked and like sex and blah blah blah. But it's kind of the opposite because like I grew up very liberally. Like my parents just never made a big deal about it. I think it's because they are doctors.
Okay, that's
so everything is just like, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, bodies are bodies, right?
Yeah. But even then, like I think they're just more liberal. Like they're always talking. I feel like my dad, I remember when we went on holiday with this on a package tour. So it's a whole bunch of like newlyweds to New Zealand. And you know, my dad being my dad, he would want to like make fun or like, you know, say stuff to provoke everybody, right? And so he was making fun of this like honeymooning couple at the breakfast buffet. And he was like, hey, so we went we were supposed to go whale watching yesterday, but I saw whales like in your bed or like something like that.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like the joke was supposed to be funnier, but like, you know, I saw too, I was whale. I don't know what he thought he was going to get out of the whole thing, like calling people whales. But so, and then the people were so uncomfortable.
Oh.
Okay, so this is related. So I don't know if I'm just unnaturally liberal because of my parents.
Okay.
Because growing up, we all slept in the same room.
Oh.
Yeah, like it was
why?
I don't know, because I think I was really needy.
Okay.
And you know, parents got to do what they got to do.
Okay.
So there was a lot of like that kind of thing. Like, you know, we were all sleeping in the same room and like things would have to happen. And you know, I'm okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were at a very early age.
Yeah, and I was exposed.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's fine. Like, I didn't see anything.
No, of course.
Because I think that's how I learned how to sleep with like my head completely under the covers. Do you do that?
Yes,
do you breathe like that?
Yeah, I do sleep with my head under the covers for very different reasons.
What's your reason?
I don't know, just comfort.
So my reason, it started with like my mom telling me, I think the problem was I kept kicking my blanket off as a child. So she told me that you have to keep the blanket on because it protects you from ghosts.
Wow.
So then from that night on, I would just sleep completely like, you know, like in a sack.
Yeah.
And I would sweat and like not breathe every night. So it was normal. And then later on when you know, I needed my eyes to be shielded from other things. Yeah. It was convenient.
Well, also, you've reached 40 and the ghosts never got you. So it was sound advice from your mum there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she was completely right.
She was completely right. Okay, so you really grew up really differently from me in that sense.
You had like your own room, privacy?
I had my own room and privacy. Yeah, I did. And we were quite like a private family, I would say, still are. And I'm private somewhat with Grace as well. Like, you know, we very much have our own space. And I am private about what I talk about with her. What about you with the kids?
I talk about like everything.
Yeah, because your kids come to see your show, right? And
well,
they see mine.
But the shows that I let them see is like, you know, not so bad.
Okay. Whereas I would never let Grace see my stuff.
Do you feel like any of the other parents, like in her school, know that you're a comedian?
Yeah, they do.
Tell
They've been to
their
see
own
shows.
kids things.
Well,
and
I
then
worry
Grace
about
would
that.
hear about it from them.
I do worry about that. If there's ever other parents in the audience, and there are often, but there are, I do tend to go over after and be like, oh, you know, it's all just jokes, right? And just jokes. We joke about the kids, right? We joke about the kids. Because I do worry.
You're joking about the kids for the sake of everyone.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
you're taking one for the team.
I'm taking one for the team.
For everyone's mental health.
Yeah.
All the parents' mental health. Yes. You're the one taking it for the team.
But the funny thing is, I make jokes about Grace that are a bit disparaging, and she knows those jokes and she loves them. She thinks they're hilarious. Yeah. And that we're really open about.
Okay.
Like, she'll tell me a story from school, and I'll just be like, Grace, that was really boring. You need to get a life. And she, like, we love that. That's kind of the banter we have. We're much more open like that. But, I mean, you know, this is the first time in the few years that I've had a boyfriend, and she's so horribly embarrassed by this fact.
That you have a boyfriend.
She's mortified.
How does she say it to you?
She just looks at me like it is the most disgusting thing that she has ever heard. Because I have to sit her down because she's of it. Last time I met someone, I guess she wasn't really old enough for me to have that conversation, but now she is. And I had to say, like, hey, so Mummy has a boyfriend now, and we quite like him, and like just we as
the queen,
the royal we,
yeah,
and we'd like to spend some time with him. And she just is like, shut up, woman. I literally, your personal affairs are your business. I don't want to hear this. I don't know how you could do something that is so disgusting, but if you've chosen to bring a man into this world into your life, then whatever.
She said all that.
She didn't say any of it. She said it all with one look. Is
right,
what she did.
Right.
She
that's what women do.
Like that.
Yeah, that's what women do.
Yeah. And I said to her, would you like to ask Mummy any more questions about that? And she just went, no. And that was it.
I feel like from how you describe her, she's not said more than 5 words her entire life.
No, she's very, well, sometimes she doesn't bloody shut up. Sometimes, do you have this ever with your kids? You're like, I love them. I wish they would open up to me and tell me about their day. And then they do. And you're like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, never. So interesting. So especially if I'm in the middle of something. And so that's her moment. It's usually when I'm at my busiest. That's her moment to suddenly she loves me so much and wants to tell me everything.
They're like, I feel like it's a timing issue.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a timing issue.
It's just a timing issue.
Otherwise, it is very easily fixed.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And I love that she chats to me when she does. And
also, I have no idea what they're talking about most of the time. They're like, oh, Mummy, so and so, she like got pregnant by a volleyball today, and his name is Kirby. It's like, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
And
I'm like,
Yeah, and what does that mean?
I don't know.
So pregnant by a volleyball. But yeah, no. So it's like interesting because I think I grew up assuming my parents knew what they were doing, and my parenting, I'm just winging it. I am making it up as I go along.
No, nobody knows what we're doing, right?
Yeah, and
nobody knows.
I don't know about you. I think I have extra guilt for being a single mother. Not extra guilt, maybe extra pressure on myself about how I'm perceived. Not massively. I mean, I have friends who really strongly feel like that, and it really reflects in the way they act, which is great. They're such great hands-on parents to compensate for being a single parent, and I don't know that I'm quite there, but I definitely do some things out of single mother guilt.
Such as
like I'm very strict on like my evenings, so if Grace is here, I'm here with her. And the funny thing about that is, like, she is not here sat next to me looking adoringly into my eyes. She's in her room. So I've turned out
and then when you're away, they're like, where'd you go?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've turned down social plans because I'm like, no, I must be at home with my beloved child. She needs me.
But she's on Roblox.
And she's on Roblox upstairs. I could literally leave the country. She wouldn't even notice.
Right.
But that is. But
and then they need you to pay for the Robux.
I haven't actually offered.
You don't think you have. I mean,
maybe I have. Maybe this is where all my money's gone.
Yeah,
it's quite a possibility.
It's part of the single mum budget.
They should. I feel like the government should give you extra money
for Roblox.
They should just give you Robux.
Yeah,
just straight away. Maybe maybe for you, like CPF could just be converted. There should be an option. Like, do you want to buy an HDB or do you want to just instantly convert it?
Like 5 Robux.
Yeah. It's tough. Like,
have you been on Roblox?
I haven't. I know you're so much of a better mum than me because you've got on there, you've understood it. I've seen it. This is one of the moments where I'm like, because she loves to show me what I assume is Roblox.
It's like, mummy, watch me. Look at my pet.
She goes, I'm going to show you this. And she comes in front of me with the iPad. She's like, which one of these do you want? Which one? And I'm like,
and it's very important.
Couldn't tell us. I'm like, oh my God, darling, why don't we have that one? She's like, not that one.
But let me tell you, Roblox is is teaching kids about life.
Okay, well that saves me a job.
Yeah, right.
Fantastic.
So it's worth the CPF deduction.
Will it have the birds and the bees talk with her?
Oh, people are having sex on Roblox.
Hopefully not our children.
Well,
sorry, people are having sex on Roblox.
Yeah. I mean, like sex, you know.
Yeah, but I didn't think you meant actual teleporting into their iPads and just banging it out.
Well, first of all, you must know, like, there's many games on Roblox.
Oh,
but
clearly.
One of the most common games is what they call, like, they might call it grinding, but not grinding, not sex grinding, but like grinding in the sense that you're working really hard to get something.
Okay, which
is sex. I mean, that's what I meant. No, so let's say there'll be something called like pet simulator, which you might think is about, you know, poor kids who can't even have their own real life pets. You get a nice pet to take care of, to feed and everything in the game, but it's not. It's a grinding game. Not that you grind on your pets. But like, so you get a pet. So you walk around in the game. And there's a pet that follows you. It just looks like a dog or a cat or whatever, right? But you don't get to play with the cat or the dog or take care of it or do anything loving. What you do is, in the world, there's huge bags of money and like treasure chests. And then you tell your pet, go open that chest and give me, like, extract the money from the chest. And so at first the chests are easy to open, but then they get harder and harder. So then you have to upgrade your pet using the money you got from the chest. And get more and more pets. So my daughter's walking around with like 22 beings like around her, like pets, right? And she's opening bigger and bigger chests. But the more you play, the more difficult the chests get to open, and it's like a whole cycle. It's like you're chasing something just so it gets harder. And
so that is life.
It is life. They're teaching you about life.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the Robux come in because you feel the grind, right? And then you're like, I want to make this faster, so you pay money for like a really strong pet, or like a whole bunch of money, but it's never gonna last.
It's never gonna last, guys.
So they're learning about life. They're learning about actual life.
So they won't be disappointed when they get to the adult world.
They're learning true values. Roblox.
They're already jaded from the Roblox.
That's right.
Man, okay, well that's depressing. So where does? So that's that game, but there's many games, are there?
The other type of game they have in Roblox is role playing. So you go into this place called, oh god, what's it called? Anyway, somethingville. Okay, anyway. So you just go to this imaginary town. There's everything you have in real life. There's like the school, there's the house, there's a police station, there's like the clinic, there's like everything. You can drive, you can upgrade your own house, you can, and you just go, and there's other kids there. I'm assuming the kids are pedophiles. And you just like, you know, hey, let's play a game. You be the police, I'll be and you can just change on the spot. You spawn anything you want. You spawn a limousine, you spawn a truck, you spawn a tank, you spawn a plane.
So cancelling out all the stuff they've learned on Grindr.
About having to grinding, yes.
Grinding. I don't think Grindr, not Grindr. Those are two different Roblox. Apps,
so completely opposite. You just get what you want like that. But you're meeting real people online, like I said, either other children or
dodgy
pedophiles.
As hell.
It's dodgy as hell. And you just like play act. So like, you know, you can go around like, oh, I'm gonna be your mom, you're gonna be the dad, and then there's the kid, and let's get up, and then like spawn a banana, eat a banana for breakfast, and let's go. We have to get to school, and it's all very like real.
I feel like I'm having a fever dream right now. None of this makes any sense to me.
It does not sound fun, right?
Like a predator's dream, sadly. That
it is. Yes, but you know, they're already there.
Scary. It's scary stuff.
But you should ask Grace. Like, you should play with her in like whatever ville that is.
No, she does often ask me, will I play Roblox with her?
Maybe you can go into Roblox and then you watch young Sheldon together in Roblox, and in that world you ask her what you really want to ask her. And
I can ask her, does she want to know about the bird? Maybe Roblox Grace will talk to me.
Yes, because that's how kids work nowadays. They have to be in avatar form.
Here's the problem though, in avatar form or not, I don't know that I want to answer any of the questions. Because that was the real reason I didn't ask them. So I was like, what if she says yes? And then she's like, how can you tell me about how babies are made?
Well, that's when you call in the pedophile.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's dark.
How are we gonna save this?
Oh my god! That's if that makes it into the final edit, that'll be sets the scene for the dark tone of the podcast.
Okay,
forward.
let me try. Okay. I was just reminded of this. So when I was a kid, like a little boy, right? There was a family friend of ours, and our families would always, go swimming pool or like holiday together. So there was this girl, the girl in the other family, who was like a normal girl.
Yeah.
Normal girls.
Normal girls, yeah, just a girl, not you, just an actual female
who was a human.
Yeah, human girl,
and a woman, yeah, and I really wanted her to like me.
Okay.
Right, and so I was just kind of finding every way I could to impress her, as one does. And so there was once, I remember, it was the back of my parents' car. We were going somewhere. It was me and her, and I was trying to impress her. So she was trying to be polite and like ask questions like, "Oh, have you ever had a pet? Like a pet?" And what I heard was pet.
Oh.
And I was like trying to be cool, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I've had pads, and they're so uncomfortable when you put them on because like sometimes they get all squished in your butt."
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
And I think to her credit, she just rolled with it. She was just like, "Oh, okay, well, I had a hamster once."
I love that. I like to think she's looking back on that and like, what was Joyce doing with her pets?
With my hamsters.
Yeah. Oh, bless. That's so
sometimes
sweet.
they just get all stuck in your panties and like rolled up in a ball.
It's super inconvenient. It's such an embarrassing trip to the pet shop. Oh man, it's. Have you had to answer questions from your kids about anything?
About sex?
Yeah.
I feel like once because I do not control their media at all. There's only so much I can do when they are not with me. So I just kind of take if you want to ask, just ask, and I'll answer honestly, since you bothered to ask honestly. And I think there was once they did ask because they saw some lesbian memes or something. So I think they do have it. Oh, let me sorry, can I just a short aside? So when she was 12, the 12-year-old, her friends were already reading like Japanese gay manga.
Okay.
It's like how teenage girls, they want to see two hot boys like just have sex with each other. Do you know that?
No.
Is it an Asian thing? It might be an Asian thing. They call it like, oh god, what do they call it? BL, boys love manga. It's a thing.
I've never heard. Roblox is looking much safer space now.
So it's like soft porn. It's not even soft. It's like pretty hard porn. Like but they pixelate stuff. But it's just like two very feminine boys getting it on, and I think it appeals to some straight girls because it's like, oh, men can be very soft and like harmless and just like doing things by themselves and not involving us, but it's still kind of a turn on. So she already knows about like these things. And there's also the women equivalent, so there's like two girls, like Yuri manga, right? So they know about these things. So like there was once my daughter was like, mommy, do you and your girlfriend like do this?
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just want to be honest,
of
right?
Course.
So I was like, no.
Because fair. Okay.
And that was that.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Wow. See, I just don't know how equipped I would be to answer. I mean, I would answer it, and I would answer a question so honestly, and I'd be flattered that she asked. But I'm not super sad she hasn't. I'd much rather she heard, of course, the truth from me than learning it how we all learnt it, which is by hearing the wrong thing at school. I used to read these Judy Blume books, and there was a book I read when I was younger than Grace. I was 11, and it had sex in the book. I think it was called like. If anyone remembers the name of the Judy Blume book, please send it to us. Not Are You There, God? It was I want to say it was like Secret or something like that. Someone had scoliosis.
The Secret Hand Job.
I don't think I read The Secret Hand Job until I was a little bit older, actually. I don't remember what it was called, but it had a girl in it with scoliosis. That's all I remember.
Oh my god, it was a hunchback.
Hunchback of Notre Dame, very sexy. Anyway, so I read this book, and it had this sexual reference in it, which I can't remember.
Scoliosis and sex.
It was probably what it was called.
Okay. I mean, just call it like it is.
Yeah, it's just very literal. And one of the girls at school went to my teacher. I was what was the equivalent of like 5th grade, and was like, Sasha's reading this book. and it's got sex in it.
Were you reading it in front of class?
I don't know why I was reading it in school. I needed obviously to have more friends. And the teacher came over and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get in so much trouble. But of course I didn't. She was like, that's okay that you're reading this book. You're allowed to, you know. And I still have her on Facebook, this lovely teacher. And she was really like, no, this is really fine that you're reading it. And I guess that's how I started to learn about the world. I mean, probably from watching Grease when I was 8 years old. But in terms of really understanding how it worked, it's probably that book. And as I say, guys, if anyone remembers the name of it, please tell me. So I can make sure my daughter never reads it. And I think
does your daughter read?
She does read.
She does?
She does read.
That's amazing.
Yeah, she does read. I don't know what she's reading. Probably the instructions on Roblox, but she reads.
There are no instructions. It's intuitive.
There's no
it's
you just
intuitive.
know.
Yeah.
Okay, I would not. It's not intuitive to me. Okay, trust me.
You're not a robot.
I can't. She gets me to try and like move the things around the screen. I'm like, I've broken it. It's not for me. I don't know. Take it. I cry. It's a whole thing. Anyway, we've run out of time, my love. We've run out of time.
Again.
We keep running out of time.
That's probably a good thing.
It's probably a good thing. But my darlings, this has been the Comedy and Custody Podcast. I've been Sasha Brown.
I've been Nebulous, yeah.
And we will catch you next time.
See ya.